Ubiquitous, synergy seeker.
Like iodine chasing all the storms away. You're like a black ops licorice masquerade. You're like a buzz, I'm looking for a beat. You're like a tack in a paper flip factory. To me, you're like a tack in a paper flip factory. To me, you're like a diatribe calling on the bus for me. You're like the ideal rainy day activity. You're like a sign, emphasis in green. You're like ladybugs turning into jelly beans. You're like iodine chasing all the storms away. You're like a black ops licorice masquerade. You're like a buzz, I'm looking for a beat. You're like a tack in a paper flip factory. You're like a transfer looking at a better way. You're like a test maze keeping all the me's at bay. You're like a play that's like a pen. You're like MC Escher but a 10 club. You're like iodine chasing all the storms away. You're like a black ops licorice masquerade. You're like a buzz, I'm looking for a beat. You're like a tack in a paper flip factory. To me, you're like a tack in a paper flip factory. To me, you're like a tack in a paper flip factory. You're like 15, 16, to the northeast of me. You're like 2 and 15, 16, to the northeast of me. You're like 2 and 15, 16, to the northeast of me. You're like 2 and 15, 16.